This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. This segment of the news is brought to you by Silver State Health, bringing quality medical and psychiatric care to Pahrump. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Welcome to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It's Thursday, January 7th.
Well, a U.S. Capitol police officer has died from events stemming from Wednesday's riots in Washington, D.C. This makes the fifth person to have died stemming from that event, with rioters who violently stormed the Capitol as senators were in session counting votes to confirm President-elect Joe Biden's presidential win. Federal investigators are looking at everyone involved in the unrest at the U.S. Capitol, including the role of President Donald Trump and what he played in inciting the crowd. Photos and videos of those involved in the attack are in the process of being reviewed. Dozens have already been arrested, with hundreds of more to come. The Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund has announced that he will resign as a result of Wednesday's riot, effective January 16th, after questions were raised on how the rioters could have made entry into the building in the first place.
And the Nye County Sheriff's Office is seeking the public's help locating a missing Pahrump man.
The Sheriff's Office is actively searching for Kevin Clore. The Pahrump resident was last seen December 23rd when he checked into a Henderson hospital. Clore's friends called the Sheriff's Office December 31st to report they had not seen or heard from him in several days, which they characterized as unusual. Nye County Sheriff's deputies investigated further and learned that Clore was taken to a Henderson hospital December 23rd by a neighbor. The Sheriff's Office says deputies were able to confirm Clore was checked into the hospital on the 23rd, and investigators say he was released from the hospital Christmas Day. Clore has not returned home and has not been heard from since. If you have any information that could help law enforcement find Clore, you're asked to call the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000. You can also email a tip anonymously to ncsodetectives@co.nye.nv.us.
Well, a 220-mile desert showdown is here in town. The racers have been at the Pahrump Nugget and qualifying in Johnny today and tomorrow for the race that begins Saturday morning. For more information about the race, you can find the map and the schedule by going on to KPVM's Facebook page or go to legacyracing.net.
And Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak announced his second State of the State address will air at 6 p.m. Tuesday, January 19th. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and current surge, the State of the State will be pre-recorded and aired to avoid an increased risk of spread. As required by state law, the governor will submit the proposed recommended budget to the Director of the Legislative Council, Bureau for Transmittal to legislative members on January 19th. Breaking from tradition, the governor will provide legislators, the media, and the public with a summary of his recommended budget prior to the airing of his speech on the 19th. And stay tuned, we'll have much more local news for you when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by P&P Property Management. Knowledge, experience, communication, and trust. Call Cynthia at 775-727-4444.
Welcome back. Well, the nation lost more than 100,000 jobs in December. Macy's flagship store in Chicago will soon be closing for good, and Ford reports a sales slump in the fourth quarter.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, the nation unexpectedly lost jobs during December. Private payroll company ADP reports a loss of 123,000 positions in the final month of 2020. Economists expected a gain of 75,000 jobs. The government report released on Friday is reported to say that 50,000 Americans were added to payrolls last month. Tough news about Chicago's famous Magnificent Mile. Macy's flagship store at Water Tower Place is on the list of locations that will be closing this year. Some employees will be eligible for severance. Clearance sales will start this month and continue for the next 3 months. Ford vehicle sales slipped in the fourth quarter, dropping 3%. The automaker blames work stoppages due to the pandemic for a slowdown in getting its popular F-150 trucks into showrooms.
Thanks so much, Angela. Turning back now to local news, the deadline for applying for CARES Act funding has come and gone, leaving a large amount of money unspent. At the January 4th BOCC meeting, the remaining funds were discussed and a new plan is being developed.
Samantha Kramer, Nye County Grants Administrator, reported that after closing out CARES Act funding application payouts, $1,927,848.86 remains in the relief account. It was decided by the Board of County Commissioners that the money would be funneled into an account called the Nye County COVID Relief Fund. This fund would be administered much the same way as CARES was and could be used for the same items such as small business programs for PPE, rental assistance, and working capital. Kramer will work with commissioners to determine which programs from CARES Act will continue and if new programs will be added as part of the COVID Relief Fund, or CRF. The CARES Act policy will be used as a reference for the CRF. Both Commissioner Carboni and Blendo expressed an interest in meeting with Kramer to help construct policy for the fund and to make sure that the application is simple. The commissioners also said that they will bring their thoughts and ideas for the fund back to the January 20th meeting. The board as a collective agreed that the money needs to go to the public as directed, and getting the word out about this fund is imperative.
Thanks to Missy Kohler for that report. Well, Nathan Adelson Hospice announces the promotion of a new leader within the organization.
Nathan Adelson Hospice has named Angela Collins Chief Operating Officer. In addition, Collins has been appointed to the National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization's Quality and Standards Committee. In her role with that committee, Collins will assist in efforts to promote quality hospice and community-based care through specific initiatives. President and CEO of Nathan Adelson Hospice, Karen Rubel, says Collins is a forward-thinking leader who sets high standards while encouraging collaboration and accountability. Rubel says as COO, Collins will help guide Nathan Adelson into the future with a focus on strategy and growth. Collins most recently held the position of Regional Vice President of Hospice and Palliative Care for Compassus. She has more than 20 years' experience in clinical services, acute care, palliative, and hospice care. Nathan Adelson Hospice is the oldest, largest, and only nonprofit hospice in Southern Nevada, with locations in Las Vegas and Pahrump.
Well, you've seen him on the History Channel and most recently right here in Pahrump for the Producer's Choice Awards. Danny Coker picked up an award for Outstanding Mass Media Achievement at that award show, and he stopped on the red carpet to talk to News 25 about all the mass media he's involved with.
Well, I was honored this evening for Outstanding Mass Media Achievement, and I truly appreciate that. You know, we do a lot of crazy things over the years, but you know, most of this comes from the fact that I'm doing Counting Cars on History Channel out of Las Vegas. Well, as far as media is concerned, you'll tune into History Channel, you'll see Counts Customs on Counting Cars. Let's see, you've got the Counts Customs YouTube channel. We have series on that a lot. And then I've got my band, Count 77. We go out and rock all the time. You will see, Counts Vamped, the Rock and Roll Club in Las Vegas. We've got that going on. We got Counts Tattoo at the Rio. It's a struggle right now. You know, everything has been put very much on a lot of lockdowns, a lot of restrictions and things like that. Counts Vamped as a rock and roll club is designed as a rock and roll club. So it's all about live music and it's all about the concerts. So during this time when we're not allowed to do those things, it's been a challenge. But thankfully, Counts Vamped is known for their food and the bar and things like that. So we're opened as a restaurant and bar on the weekends, which is great. And when these restrictions get lifted, we'll get back to live rock and roll. You know, things are good, and I just got a lot of confidence. I feel that, you know, right now as far as Vamped is concerned, we're doing the right thing. We're keeping it cool. We're just being a restaurant and bar, not doing the live music at this point. But I'm really hopeful that early into 2021, we'll be back into doing concerts again. I'm really hopeful. You know, the last thing you want to do is get me talking about politics. I'm a very opinionated person. So I feel that a large portion of what we're dealing with is politics. While I respect the fact that this is a nasty virus and we all need to be careful, I also went to school and I did well in math, and the numbers just don't add up. So I know we're playing a lot of politics. So I'm looking very forward to getting the politics aside and getting the rocking back on the stage. I'm thrilled to be here in Nye County. You know, I'm in Clark County, which is Vegas. We're in Nye County right now, which is Pahrump. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's so far. That road from Vegas to Pahrump is so delicious that on 112, I'm here in 10 minutes. Yeah, it's great. So let's come out and let's rock and roll.
Yes, let's rock and roll. And we'll be rocking and rolling when KPVM returns after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Welcome back. Let's go to your Medical Minute with Dr. Steckel.
This Medical Minute is brought to you by Spring Mountain Medical, healthcare the way you've always imagined it.
Hi, my name is Dr. Jacob Steckel. I'm one of the chiropractors at Spring Mountain Medical. Today, I'd like to talk to you about strength and resistance training. The American Heart Association recommends strength training at least twice per week. Stronger muscles make it easier to perform everyday activities and can make your body more resistant to injury. Strengthening your muscles will also lead to a boost in your metabolism, meaning your body will burn more calories even when it's at rest. Don't worry, they are not talking about bodylifting or bodybuilding or powerlifting. Resistance training means simple weight-bearing exercises using weights, machines, bungees, or your own body weight. Men and women of all ages can benefit from strength training, but get a doctor's okay before beginning, especially if you haven't exercised in a while, have any underlying health concerns, or injuries. The American Heart Association recommends 2 to 3 days per week, 20 or 30 minutes, to receive the benefits of increased muscle mass, metabolism, increased bone density, reduce the symptoms of arthritis, and increase overall strength, flexibility, and balance. If your New Year's resolution included having a healthier 2021, consider making resistance training part of your regular week. At Spring Mountain Medical, the chiropractors, medical providers, and staff are happy to help. Contact our office at 775-727-8900. I'm Dr. Jacob Steckel, and this has been a Medical Minute.
Well, if you're in the market for a new computer, Josh Osborne is running through another option you may want to consider other than desktops and laptops.
Hi, it's Josh with Pahrump Own Great Computer Deals. Let's get right into it. It's time for another quick tutorial. What do I buy, a desktop, laptop, or a tablet? Here are the top reasons for and against buying a tablet. Tablets are the cutting edge of technology and offer a great experience in a small package. Tablets can handle modern uses for computers such as email, social media, banking, and more. But tablets can become obsolete much quicker than desktops and laptops and offer very few upgradable options. Also, most tablets will only run apps and not full computer programs such as Microsoft Office, QuickBooks, Photoshop, and others. Remember, it's about your needs. If a tablet works for you, that's the right answer. Why trust a technician when you can trust a friend? Great Computer Deals is located at 1190 East Highway 372. Call us at 775-990-8833.
Well, you know, the NFL playoffs begin this weekend and the excitement is contagious, but so is the coronavirus. Medical experts say where and how you cheer your favorite team should look different this year.
The same that we've been talking about all year is that if you're going to do anything, it's best to do it with members of your own household, people who you live with, and that's it.
Dr. Frank Esper is an infectious disease specialist with Cleveland Clinic Children's. He says COVID-19 is still prevalent across the country and recommends avoiding indoor crowds at bars or house parties. He adds there's often a lot of cheering, screaming, and yelling during a big game, which can send infectious droplets into the air. He encourages fans to stay home and have a virtual tailgate or watch party instead. And he reminds us COVID-19 can be spread unknowingly by people who don't have any symptoms, so if you decide to watch the game outside of your bubble, be sure to wear a mask, practice social distancing, and wash your hands.
Remember, these masks and social distancing is not to also protect you, but also to protect people from others who might not even know that they're infected. And there's a lot of people out there who don't know that they are infected.
Dr. Esper warns to be extra cautious if you're throwing back a few cold ones because alcohol makes you less inhibited and more likely to let your guard down on safety measures.
And News 25 visited a local business today, Marty Greenfield Jewelers, to ask some of you out there a popular question. What's your New Year's resolution?
So my New Year's resolution for this year is to just try to make people smile more than I did last year. You know, I try everything to make people smile. It's just who I am. I don't know, helping people out any way I possibly can.
Just to have peace, tranquility, and have this nation just heal after what we've been through.
My New Year's resolution is to try to stay healthy and happy and convey that to the rest of the people around me.
My New Year's resolution is to get younger, get more handsome, and get richer. Now, do you think that'd be possible? I would love it.
I don't think you can get any more handsome than you are now.
Oh, isn't she sweet? Yeah, that's the best compliment I've had in months.
I'm thinking as a resolution for peace in the world right now. There is so much turmoil and so much hostility between one another. We need to come together. We need to come together quickly and try to bring this United States back to what it was. And all I'm hoping for and wishing for is peace, tranquility, and harmony.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
And as we head into break before your weather, we're taking a live look at our nation's capital. As we go into break, we're looking at what's going on across the nation.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Corther from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Happy birthday today to our 14th president, Millard Fillmore, who was the first to accomplish having indoor plumbing at the White House. Got himself a hot tub. Way to go, Millard. Hey, look, this up in Fernley, 47 degrees for a high today, 26 for a low. Fallon, you're up to 48 degrees for a high, 22 for a low. In Carson City, as we drift south, getting a little bit warmer, 50 degrees was your high, 30 degrees for a low. And in Tonopah, all the way up to 46 degrees with a 20-degree low tonight. Goldfield looking at 47 and 21 on the low end. Beatty feeling pretty good at 61 degrees and 33 for a low. Amargosa, you're staring at 65 and saying, room temperature, very nice. 36 was your low as we approach morning. In Las Vegas, kind of a little chilly, man. Good time to get a Las Vegas sweatshirt. 63 degrees for a high today, 40 for a low. And in Death Valley, 68 degrees and just 44 for a low. As we look at the local temperatures here in Pahrump, 57 degrees is our current temperature, and it's nice and beautiful afternoon. A little bit wind out of the south-southwest, 5 miles per hour. We got all the way up to 61 degrees, which was not too bad. Actually, and the sunshine felt pretty good. And there was, a little bit of cloud cover, but
very, very light and very pleasant. Humidity at 20% this morning as the sun rose at 6:55 a.m. and the sun set this evening at 4:45 p.m. We actually lost a minute of night, so there you go. A low of 37 degrees as we approach morning, and the winds just light out of the east-northeast to 3 miles per hour with 28% humidity. Mostly clear skies, and let's take a look at this as we head on into the week. Friday, big fluffy clouds. Saturday, lots of wind and no clouds. So there you go. The wind's going to be blowing out our cloud cover on Saturday. We're going to enjoy some nice temperatures. Looks like a trend towards the warm as we go on into the week. We start the week at 61 degrees for a high, and the week at 72 for a high. And the lows coming out of freezing temperatures at night all the way up to low 40s. So it's going to be kind of hit and miss on the cloud cover, but basically we're gaining some daylight, we're gaining some degrees, and it's all good in the hood. There you are. Back to the desk with you, Net and Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. We do have an event coming up, and
That's
that is happening this weekend, and it is a
Spaghetti.
spaghetti feast. It's hosted by the Pahrump Elks Lodge. And when's that going to be, Yvette?
That is Sunday, January 10th, coming up. It'll be from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. So bring your appetite and your masks. Remember to be safe, wash hands, but enjoy each other. That'll be at 2220 East Basin Avenue, just east of the DMV here in town.
They are asking for a reservation, 751-2796. And we do have an unfortunate incident that we have to talk about, and that's the loss of Barbara Johnston. She was well known here in town. Of course, Quilts for Cancer. She made a lot of socks and knitted hats for the children here in town for the Nye County School District, and of course, pillowcases. She was definitely a go-getter here in town who helped out so many people here. And unfortunately lost her to COVID, and our hearts and prayers are with the family.
Definitely. And as we leave you tonight, we'd like you to please pause for Barbara, all of you who knew and love her, and also please pause to reflect on the lives lost during the incidents at the nation's capital.
Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.
Good night.